What is going on, guys? So this is my full review of the Apple Watch SE 40mm GPS only. In this video we'll also see what difference it makes if you go for an Apple Watch SE instead of the more affordable ones like the Amazfit. And also we'll also see if you should go for the Series 6 or should you even wait for the Series 7. Just coming up after this short intro. So we'll have 4 sections in this video. First, we'll go through all the features that this Apple Watch SE has. We'll go for the pros and cons, and then we'll also see the conclusion, like what I mentioned in the intro, like should you go for the Watch SE instead of the affordable ones or the Series 6 or the Series 7. By the way, I have also made a full unboxing of this Apple Watch SE, so make sure you check that out. So first of all, let's see the size of this thing, because I actually wanted to go for the 44mm, considering that my hands are really large and big. So I always prefer bigger dialed watches. But actually that applies only for the watches that you're going to wear only outdoors, not indoors. But this is a fitness watch, so mostly for sleep tracking and those purposes you would be wearing inside as well. That is why I found this not just more affordable but more convenient as well. I felt like I needed a bigger display, a bigger dial, but this is really comfortable to wear all day and even all night for my sleep tracking purposes. And also one more thing, I thought that the display on the 44mm would be more like readable also. But to be honest, I have had no such issues on this 40mm as well. I never felt like it is a small display or anything. So if at all you're thinking that the 40mm would be too small, then don't worry about it. Now if you look at the display, it does have some bezels, but I think it's a good thing because it really takes away the accidental touches that could have happened. The build of this device is quite sturdy, I would say, but do note that I have made a chip here, if you can see on the camera. Yeah, that paint chip I don't know how I got it, but I just did. But I was never a fan of those screen protectors and all, because they would actually make the watch less aesthetic as well and less comfortable as well. Oh, move goal 200%. Thank you. But apart from the paint chip that I had, I think this is a really sturdy build. Now coming to the colors that you get, when it comes to the Watch SE, you do get limited colors compared to the Series 6, because there you have even more extra colors to go for, like the blue or the red ones. In this I think you get only space gray, rose gold, and I think you also get the silver one. But these are just the basic colors that you get on the watch body. But you can anyways go ahead and customize the straps that you can get. So you can go on and of course you need to buy them separately, but you can go and customize them. Now this is a GPS only version, and I would say that the GPS tracking is really accurate. I mean, you can't see it here, but you can see it on the fitness app and on your iPhone, and there you can I could easily see that the tracking of the path was done accurately well, and so there is no issues with the GPS accuracy. Now the heart rate sensor also, I would say it's fairly accurate. Of course it isn't a medical grade feature, so there I did observe that it's plus 1 or 2 beats minus, you can say, but it's fairly accurate. But when it comes to like tracking your heart rate, and that to an alarming level, so if your heartbeat really increases, then of course this will come in handy. So this shows your current heart rate as well, and your resting rate also, like when you're resting how much your heart rate is, your walking average heart rate BPM. Like for example, when I'm walking, I can see it goes up to 130 bpm or so. Whether that's normal, I'm not sure, but it does shift up and down, and I think it does a pretty decent job of tracking your heartbeats. We have different modes to track, like outdoor walking or indoor walking, outdoor run, outdoor cycle, indoor run, indoor cycle, elliptical. All these exercises that whichever you do, you can just start the tracker here and it will keep tracking it. For example, I usually do outdoor walking and indoor walking. So when I go to outdoor walking, it will start tracking it. Now while it's tracking, it shows the current BPM that you're on. It shows the time, how many calories you have burnt, how much distance you have walked. And on this left side, you get to lock this screen. Otherwise, what you can do is you can end or pause this workout. And the best thing is, on the right side you also got the music player that you're playing. Now you do get the Spotify and Apple Music on this. It's a good thing that you can play that from here as well, but as of now I could not find Amazon Music. So I'm an Amazon subscriber and an Amazon Music user. So what I have to do is I have to start that music from my phone itself, but then I can control it from here later on. Now the Bluetooth also is really good in this, but there are some comments that I have regarding it which I'll come to ahead in this video, and that is actually in the cons section. You can install all your apps here like MyGate, Spotify, iTunes. This fitness app is here. Now yeah, the other feature is also that about breathing. So it whenever it detects like an increased heart rate, or also like just at regular intervals, it does remind me to breathe. And what it does that whenever you start this, it will ask us to bring our attention to this, or sorry, to our breath, and then it will like guide us on the inhalation and exhalation process. So it's vibrating now and it's guiding the inhalation exhalation process. There's also another good feature that when you're washing your hands, it automatically detects that, and then it starts the timer to 20 seconds. So it's a really much appreciated feature. Another thing is that it's at a storage of 32 GB, so you get around like 26 GB available. So it's good if you want to store all your music on your watch itself, so that's a good thing. Now when it comes to taking or receiving calls from this watch, the speakers are situated here, and I would say they are decently loud. And as you're wearing your watch on your wrist itself and not keeping it somewhere else, so the speakers are loud.
I'm not sure I understand.
So the speakers are actually loud enough, and I have no complaints with that so far. Yes, they are not that bassy, and they do sometimes sound a bit shrill and trebly, but that's fine for a watch. There are different watch faces that you can apply here from your iPhone. I think the best one that I found was this one. It automatically, this is like, it's as it's nighttime, so it's showing night here, and in daytime it shows the daytime. So when I look at it, it shows this cool animation of the clouds. It does take up more battery, but it looks cool. You can also put some personal photo also if you want. Now coming to the fitness app on this watch, it does show a lot of information, and it's actually more than enough, but you do get more information on the iPhone's app, so that's also there. You can also track your heart levels there when it went up and down, and like all the accurate statistics you'll get there. But this does give a brief overview. And yeah, this steps thing, I think it was not there before. Now they have added this. Now talking about the battery life of this Apple Watch SE, I would say for about like 14 hours of moderate usage, including 2 to 3 calls and 1 hour of outdoor walking, the battery dropped to 50%. So I would say that this can extend to 2 days. But I am not that confident though about 2 days, because when I might need to go out suddenly, so I cannot have my watch dying on me. Hence I do charge it daily, but that's actually okay, because every morning I can just put it on charge, and the charging I would say is pretty fast enough. Even though I'm not charging with a fast charger, I'm just charging with a 10-watt Apple charger, but still the charging is really decent, and within like 45 minutes to 1 hour I can get the battery full. Now you also have a power reserve option that you can turn on, which is basically the battery saver mode of this. And I had turned it on one day, like for 12 hours I had kept that mode on, and I had lost about 8 to 9% juice. So when you're outside and don't want to track anything, just want to see the time in that, then you can turn the power reserve on and you'll not lose a lot of battery in that. You can also reply to WhatsApp messages or messages on this. And for typing, you can either speak into the microphone, use some emojis, or there are also some suggestions, but there is no keyboard yet on this. So what you can do is, this one is really good, this virtual keyboard. So if I want to type like hi, so it really tracks well, and you can type like that if you really have the need to type on your watch. It also takes punctuation marks. Sorry, yeah. Another good feature of this watch is that it reminds us to stand. Every hour it reminds me to stand up and move a little. Now there is also sleep tracking on this, which I do turn on, but I have just turned it off for the purpose of this video, because otherwise it goes dim a lot. But if you turn it on, you can set your schedule, and it keeps and it reminds you like now you have to go to bed, like that, and also sets the alarm. And now when it's on sleep tracker, you can't just use it like that, it goes very dim. So I'm not sure if you can see this on the camera. So to unlock it, you have to roll this crown and make it open like that. So guys, now that you've seen most of the features of this Apple Watch SE, if you want to know more about the features, you can always let me know in the comment section below. I'll make sure to answer those queries. But now we'll move to the more important section and we'll look at the cons first. So the first con is that the display can be too dim indoors. Like outdoors, it's fine. The auto brightness sensor works really well. It goes really bright also. But indoors, I mean, it's not that needed to go that dim. And I have seen a lot of posts online as well, and a lot of forums. People have complained about this that it goes too dim. And as of now, there is no auto brightness setting on this that we can turn off. Now, the next con is that the connectivity is not that reliable that I've observed. For example, like if I am going like too far away, it's fine. It shows an icon here that it's not connected yet to my phone or it's out of reach. But sometimes what I've observed is that if my phone is in some other room, so in that case, what I've observed is that it's not that reliable. Sometimes I'm getting a phone call on my phone, but it's not showing up here. And it's not even showing that it's out of reach or disconnected to my phone. So that's a thing that I have observed. Now the next con is that the lift to wake does not work sometimes. So I have sometimes found myself just trying to wake it up, but it does not wake up. Now the next con is that I'm not sure how much RAM this has. When you press this side button, then you get to close all these apps, but you have to close them manually. So if they're using the RAM so much, then I'm not sure, because that might affect the performance as well. Not of the tracking, of course, but like the fluidity of the device itself. So I just wish we could close all of them at once. Next con is that sometimes the calls on this, even though the phone is just beside you, or even notifications, they just don't show up on this. My take on that was at first that probably the phone is too close to us, so it does not do that effort of sending all the notifications here, because it kind of senses, because the iPhone does have that sensor that if you're around that, then it will know that you are already looking at it or going to use it. But sometimes that was not the case, and I did observe that notifications or calls did not reach to me, even though the phone was just beside me, but I was not using it. Now the next con of this is, I would not say it's more of a con, but it's actually better to have an always on display on your watch, so that you don't have to always lift it up and see the timing. But it does help a lot in the battery though, but that feature is not there, hence I've included this in the con. So if you're a person who wants that always on display, then that feature is not there on this Apple Watch SE. Now the next con I've observed is that muting the phone does not mute the watch. I mean, I would wish that if I am silencing my phone with the mute switch, I would also want my watch to go mute, because probably I'm heading to an important meeting, so I can't like turn this to silent mode also and the phone also separately. Now guys, the next thing is the pros. First pro is that the UI is really simple and easy, and it's actually really fluid. Even though it's not a high refresh rate display, it does feel like it though. It feels really fluid. The touch response is really great, and I really love the apps and all. So, and I also mentioned this before that the even though the screen size is small, I've never had any accidental touches, or I have never pressed any other icon that I did not want to press. For example, if I want this photos, you can just go into this, come back out, and if I want to see the fitness, like this. Now, the next pro is that the speakers are really loud enough. Also, the fitness tracking that I've mentioned before, all those features are, even though they're not medical grade, they are accurate enough. The next best thing that I like about this device is the vibration motor. The haptics, the default haptics are strong enough, but if you want, you can also set to the prominent one. So I mean, I do not miss any notification just because of that. And I think it gives a really great feedback, all those haptics. Now, the next pro is that the MagSafe charger that comes with this, even though this watch does not support wireless Qi charging, but that MagSafe charger is fast enough. Now guys, that was of the pros section. Now let's come to the conclusion and see. So first of all, let's see why you should go for this watch and not a cheap or affordable watch. Because this watch, even though it's one of the most affordable ones, especially in the latest segment that you can get from Apple, but there are also many affordable watches out there which also have more features than this, like the SpO2 and blood pressure monitoring and all that, and you get them like at a really discounted and really, I mean, I don't know what to say about this, because Amazfit watches and all like that you get for 3,000 4,000 in India, and this watch you can get for like 27,000 if you go for any discounts. So guys, the first thing that I've observed is the fitness tracking reliability, because the main purpose of this, one of the main purposes of this watch is fitness tracking, and all the step count and the heart rate, they are more reliable on this Apple Watch, be it this Apple Watch SE or any other Apple Watch like Series 6. Because when it comes to all the other watches, affordable watches, I have observed that they are not always that reliable. Like sometimes the step counts also are like up, there are ups and downs in that. It's not that accurate. People have reported that even though they were not walking, it did record some steps. So this is not a good thing, and I think the basics should be done right, which this watch really does it. Now the next thing that this watch has is the display. It's not a TFT display, it's an AMOLED display, and this display looks really good. I don't really like those TFT displays that the affordable watches come with. Yeah, they do help in the battery life a lot. Like those watches last for like a lot many days, and that's actually a good thing also. If you prefer that, then that's fine. But I do love the display on this device. Next thing is also the build quality. Even though it is a delicate device, it's not that delicate. It's still a sturdy and a premium build you get. Whereas on those affordable watches, yeah, they do try to make it look like the Apple Watch, but the feel isn't there. Now guys, the next thing is that should you go for the Series 6? The Series 6 has the SpO2 monitoring, blood oxygen levels monitoring, and also the VO2 max feature. If you really want those features, then it's good to go for the Series 6, but do keep in mind that again they are not medical grade features. Like you won't get that medical grade level of accuracy on them. So if at all you don't need them, then I don't think it's worth spending that much extra and going for the Series 6. And if you're really worried about that SpO2, you can always get that pulse oximeter device, which comes at an affordable price, not spending grands and grands money for the Series 6. So guys, now coming to the Series 7, now this is an interesting topic. So the leaks and rumors suggest that the Series 7 would have blood pressure monitoring and also non-invasive blood glucose monitoring for diabetes. We can't say for sure as of now. Hence, if you are interested in having those features in your watch, the blood pressure monitoring and the non-invasive blood glucose monitoring, then I think you should wait and see at least what the Series 7 would offer. Would it offer that much level of accuracy? Because the Series 7 is not that far away. Also, the Series 7 will have much better display than this, the mini LED, so it will allow it to be even more thinner. They are saying that it would be having a longer battery life, but not sure how long or how much increase in battery life we would see. So as of now, like if you have to charge this every day, and also not like it does not die on you in a day, it can easily last up to 2 days. So I think that's more than enough. So guys, now let's come to the conclusion. I think at the price that this watch comes in, I think it offers all the basics and it does get all the basics right. So if you're a person who wants to accurately just monitor your fitness and also have a smartwatch that gets all your notifications and alerts, then I think this watch does it right in most of the segments. So that's it guys. Hope you guys like this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.